Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I'm your host, Colosfade. It's episode 78. We're on our way to see what's up with Solomorn. He was kicked off the Adeptus Arbites, so apparently even they have limits as to how much of a jerk you can be before they want to boot you off their team. We have to go to Vibo 6. So let's see what's happening here. Oh, before we do that, let's repair. Didn't realize we took a little bit of damage there during one of those situations. Pure blood finish, profit factor +5. So if we scroll down, we can see what else is going on. Extractium ignifera. That'll get us 6 people. One of these projects has been completed. It gets us a bunch of promethium. How much promethium do we have? I like that you can check everything up here. We have a bunch of promethium, and we have 27 people, so I don't see that we necessarily have to do that. This looks bad. We're going to lose profit factor, security, and get a whole bunch of people. Captive Xenos. Well, save that. Navy whips. Reputation with the Imperial Navy is above 17,300. You can do this. You'll get more Imperial Navy. You'll get the Craven's Blade, which is a pretty stout two-hander. Terrifying weapon, you have Gurgi Suko, a ship disciplinary officer who single-handedly put down a mutiny staged on the cowardly officers of the Void Triumpha. Other than that, it doesn't appear to do anything special. It just does a lot of damage. Get us complacency, efficiency, and security. Yes, let's do that. Alright. So, back to Vibo 6 projects, right here. The pits of Vibo 6. Okay, we have Adira with us. Oh, we need Cabell. That's what we need. Who do we want to take? We've really enjoyed taking Cabela. I think I want to take Argenta because we haven't done that for a while. And we need to see what she looks like. I need some video footage of her in action as a higher level character. I have a fun video that I'm putting together for this game that hopefully will be out before the game is over. These fun videos take a lot of time to put together because it takes me a lot of time to capture all the footage for them. Greetings, your lordship, says the senior jailer. You've come to collect him, haven't you? Overseer Anthar, I mean. Yeah, I did. Where is he? Emperor be praised. I mean, he is not far from here, carrying out routine cell inspections. You should have no trouble finding him. You look a little disturbed. Is Solomorn causing trouble? Narrator's voice. When is he not causing trouble? Most certainly not. He's an arbiter through and through, albeit a discharged one. It's just... The jailer's rebreather emits a shuddering wheeze. He is so diligent in his work that us common people cannot keep up. State plainly what your problem is. Your lordship, Vibo 6 is a grim and dismal place, but how shall I put this? Master Anthar has made it unbearable. He has introduced new policies. Each shift now begins with a penitential scourging, followed by an inspection. Even the slightest offense merits 10 lashes, a thorough search, and yet more punishment. And I'm talking about the jailers here. Why is Solomorn dictating procedures? Are you not in charge here? I am in charge of just this sector, or was in charge anyway. The head of the colony said that now that we have an ex-arbiter, we should heed his wisdom and learn from it. Called us planetoid-dwelling dustgorgers too, but that is beside the point. And you have learned nothing, choosing instead to wallow in cowardice. Yes, Argenta. Are you saying the colony has become less functional? Quite the opposite. We've never enjoyed such strict discipline. Except people are dying a bit too quickly. On both sides of the bars, I mean. Your lordship, there have been several attempts on Master Anthar's life. The hate has grown stronger than the fear. Take him away from here, I beg you. Please, take him away. Emperor bless you. Solomorn, my compatriot, I won't call you a friend because you're not.
Nothing escapes my sight.
You need some help. Is what you need.
I always have a backup plan.
The jailers are not happy. Prisoners are certainly not happy. There's some goods here. Melt a charge. Tech use Pascal. Go.
My success is an irrefutable
What is this?
certainty.
Tactica Imperialis excerpt. Critical damage by the wearer with pistols is increased by 6% if their lore Imperium is 150 or greater. 6%? Lore Imperium divided by 5. Oh. So, what would it be for you? 37. You have pistols. What are you using? This item increases the wielder lore Xeno skill, but if they have Iconoclast Adherent, it increases by 10 instead. It increases all skills, and this one grants plus 10 to all skills, so that stays on the bench. It's plus 10 to all her skills, and plus 10 to all her skills is plus 20, because we can do basic math.
Always keep your eye on the price.
And we're not getting rid of those bonuses. And there's this, the Shield Bearer's Boots, where I can use their Assault Onslaught ability twice per turn. Those are for Solomorn, so we're definitely taking them away from here. Oh, Glato. What are you doing there, doggy? Eyes on the floor. Where is our man? Back here, maybe. Glato. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez. What the? Doesn't matter. You're already dead. Solomorn turns sharply towards you. He's not wearing a rebreather, and fresh bandages peek out from under his uniform. The former proctor roars, consumed with rage. Who opened your cells? Who did it? Speak, or your deaths will be. It seems Solomorn is a breath away from lunging for you next. But recognition glimmers in those deranged eyes, and his voice goes quiet, as if all his strength has flooded him. Glato? I was told you had been discharged. How did that happen? I failed the mission. Failed everyone. There were too many enemies. The situation was against us. No, I am not making excuses. It was not my first mission to go awry, but I didn't have Glato with me. I was sloppy, unfocused. I ordered the retreat too late. I managed to drag one of the arbiters to the infirmary. The man died of his wounds. Bottom line, the objective was not accomplished. 10 arbiters were lost, and their commander was somehow left alive. Like a coward, I hoped to be executed, but the marshal sent me to rot on Phoebos 6 instead, and he was right to do so. Why are you not wearing a rebreather? The air here is noxious. I am too used to arbiter helmets. They do not cover the lower part of the face. As for my well-being, frankly, I could not care less. Come. I've already submitted a petition to have you reinstated. No. Stop. I can't leave. I'm guilty. You spineless worm. Look at the state of you. Get lost, rogue traitor. Solomorn says without malice, but his lips stretch into a feral, grotesque smile. There's nothing more you can do here. Solomorn Anthar is guilty and is stepping down from his post. DX1, pull yourself together. I have judged myself and handed down the sentence, not because of demotion, though it was the last straw. I cannot do it anymore. I cannot look at the lying governors, scoundrels who succumb to corruption. But above all else, I cannot bear to look at myself, an arbitrator who's coming apart at the seams, who turns into a wreck without his dog, who... Solomorn releases a ragged sigh. No longer believes that the Lex Imperialis prevails anywhere at all. The trial of will is an immutable part of every journey. It is time to combat your weakness and light the fire of true faith in your heart. Now, what was this sentence? I will serve on Phoebos 6 until either the world itself or its inhabitants end my existence. Until that day, I will mold this prison into a paragon of imperial order. Gibella gives Solomorn a look of sympathy, then pulls out one of her hidden blades and places it in his hand. For the Undying One is duty itself. And what about Glato? I don't have the right to keep him anymore. Deliver him to the marshal. He'll find Glato a new master. Solomorn slowly raises his hand. His face is twisted in torment. Perhaps his injuries are causing him pain, or perhaps it is the words he's trying to force out. Plato, Protocol Mortem 80. Guard the target. Solomon points a trembling finger at you. But the cyber mastiff does not react. The scarlet lights of his visor stare at Solomon, and not a muscle beneath the dark coat quivers in response to the order to leave his master. He's not listening to me. Is this the aftermath of that damn mission on Thessera, or did the tech priest have to reset him to basic protocols? Throne, what difference does it make? My dog. I can't even give him one last order. Why now, Glado? Glado has protected you from the convict. Is that not enough for you? We used to act as one, but not anymore. The last remnants of my composure are gone. Look at me. I'm a human scrap, not an arbitrator. Just an appendage to a cyber mastiff. That's accurate. That's pretty much all he's ever been. You do realize that we're talking about a half-servitor. A tool. There is no meanness in him, no fickleness. Tell me I'm mad, but he's my dog, and without him I lose all reason. I'll tell you this, Jai says. You finally look like a person, Saul, like someone who is capable of feeling something, and if a few of your screws had to come loose for you to get there, well, you're definitely not alone in that. Well, even so. I came here to get you, bud. You will. You can't stand here forever. You are in pain, and you are hurting yourself even more to block it out. Wounds need to be healed, not opened up further. Is this pity? How far I must have fallen in your eyes if it has come to this. Oh, buddy. You are only human, just like the people you judge. Make peace with yourself and find a new way to serve the law. Solomon's iron fist unclenches slightly. I never thought I would take comfort in naive platitudes. Clearly, I am losing my grip. You protect Glado, and you draw strength from that. Perhaps one day you will want to protect human lives, too. I'm too used to hating. Solomon rests his hand on the back of Glado's neck for the first time since the two of you began talking. I don't even know what life without hatred would look like. Not so lousy, perhaps. There's a parallel here for anybody who's willing to see it. Vibo 6 has become your twisted reflection. Others' torment is part of your own punishment. You have grown tired of violence, tired of carrying out executions. None of this is because of me. They all get what they deserve. But for some reason, I no longer feel satisfaction from carrying out my duties. You have convinced me. To the void with Vibo 6. My place is not here. I'm ready to serve once more. I will head to the ship at once. If you need anything, you can find me at the usual post. Well, I don't know if I need anything from you, but I gotta tell you, it was real tempting not to kill him right there when they were given the option. The wearer can use ranged weapons in melee range. Don't care. I mean, that's kind of nice, but really don't care. The wall, which was destroyed in the Drukari attack, has been partially rebuilt. A bold hand has left an inconspicuous message. It was better under the Xenos. Yeah.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, so not a good life here for our prisoners. Okay. Well, we picked him up. Now we're going to see what to do with him. The reason I didn't kill him is because there is more to the Lex Imperialis DLC, and there are some really cool missions. And I assume he has to be alive to do those, so I want to do them. But Solomon really is an awful character. Okay, now next. Blood Ties. Visit Dargonis in order to assess the situation on the capital world. Find the world from Idira's visions. Marazai desires to meet with a group of Kabbalites of the Reaving Tempest who are likely to be banished from Camorra. The former Dracon insists on personally dealing with those he used to command. Shards of the Tempest. and death has whispered your name. Meet the Erebus's on Dargonis. So it sounds like we have to go to Dargonis, really. Okay, and the High Effect Totem and Voxmaster are ready to share the latest news. Well, let's make sure we don't need to be here for any other reason. What do we have? Projects on Foulstone. What's going on, Foulstone? We can do Shrine. Oh, yeah, but let's see. Blocks, Proshes, and okay. Blocks, projects. So planetary projects. On Foulstone, what we want to do is any tier 4 project. And on tier 3, we definitely want to do Shrine. That's what my notes say. So, profit factors greater than 50. Adamantine, it's going to cost us 4. It's going to cost us 4 Phlogiston. We get +2 profit factor, +2, 3 complacency, more security, more efficiency, and we get the Hammer of Epiphany, which I don't really care about. So, execute that. On Janus, we want to do what? There's rank 3, there's rank 4. So for rank 4 on Janus, it says any. Isn't in my notes. Payment and organs, we can give them people and get profit factor. Okay. Secret lair, we can give them Xenotech. This will get us more for the Casbalic emission. The Scriptorum schools lose profit factor. Xenos intoxicant gives us profit factor chemicals. We lose Xenotech. Okay, payment and organs, let's do that because more profit factor would be good. Kiava Gamma, the Lord Captain's presence is required, so that's where we got to go before we go to Dargonis. For Dargonis, our tier 3 is Adeptus Arbites, is what they want us to do. So there's Adeptus Arbites, which we did, so that one's done. So for tier 4, any or increased stats, and we need anything that increases stats, really. Profit factor and people. This one will give us profit factor. This one will give us security, people, and familial power armor. Let's do that. And then Novibos we're working. So we need to go to Kiava Gamma. Okay. In that case, where is Kiava Gamma? It's like way over here somewhere, isn't it? Kiava Gamma, unfinished event, forbidden weapon. Well then. That's going to take us a little bit to get over there, isn't it? Dargonis Kale event requires the Lord's attention. Well, since we're going to be right there. A report from the middle decks, Lord Captain. Immediately after our translation from the warp, there were reports on the Vox channels about black creatures appearing all over the place. The witness accounts claim they emerged straight from the shadows, and it was your pet Xenos Marzai they were interested in. Several enforcers perished in the battle, but we managed to avoid significant casualties. Your Xenos took out the aggressors. I would not be bothering you with this if we had determined how the creatures got onto the ship. Until we know for sure, we won't be able to stop future incursions. They were mandrakes that could have infiltrated the ship through the shadows. In that case, guarding the decks against every shadow will not be possible. We will strengthen the security detail at key points on the vessel and hope the incident does not happen again. Okay. Well, we're here at Dargonis, so there's a bunch of stuff to do here. Let's see what we can do. Dargonis. $107 profit factor. Gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Call to arms is done. Gets us this, and all colonies get +3 security. That's nice. Lord Captain, the cult to the Final Dawn has poisoned the colony's water supplies. All who drink from the tainted source start mutating at a frightening speed. Purchase an emergency shipment of water that would gain us complacency. Distract the people. That looks costly. Request support from the Cognizance fleet. Empty the water tanks and order the people to wait for the next shipment. Purchase an emergency shipment of water. Yeah, complacency +1. Okay. We lost 4 profit factor. It didn't say I was going to lose profit factor. You gotta tell me everything so I can make intelligent choices. Owlcat. Owlcat, Owlcat, Owlcat. Alright. Rank 3. Guilds. Rank 4. Holy Prophet. On Dargonus. Any and anything to increase stats. So, profit factor and people. Get us that back. Now, back here. What do we have? This. Von Valencia Palace. Oh, we have to take Abelard with us. Okay. Well, I suppose, Cabela, you're going to have to ride the bench. We're going to take Argenta. I kind of want... Oh, do we have to take Solomon here? Did he need something? Hold on. What did we have here? Companion quest. Death has not whispered your name. Meet the Erebus's on Dargonus. Oh, we have to take Cabela for that. Marazai. That's a different thing. Find the world in Adira's vision and visit Dargonus. House Weserian. Okay, so we have to take Cabela with us too. We have to take you. She's got to go because we have to take Cabela. All right. Let's go see what's going on here. Well then, we have a whole bunch of people lined up here. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand aside. No need to crowd around. Governor Drivestem will take care of everything. This is ridiculous. Such a thing happened right in the Rogue Trader's palace. Dead people. Dead people on my palace grounds. What's going on here? You are confronted by the sight of dead bodies at the entrance to the palace. Corpses have been hauled into a pile. Some are dressed in the uniforms of palace wardens, while others are arrayed in the clothing typical of the Dargonus nobility. Upon seeing you, the young enforcer stands at attention and swallows noisily. His voice trembles as he says, "Your lordship, we are honored by your presence." What is this mess? You see, your lordship, those people wanted to attack. The warden clears his throat. Second Lieutenant of the Palace Guard, Elam White, reporting. Shortly before your arrival, we averted an assassination attempt on the Rogue Trader. The palace soldiers detected intruders and engaged them in combat. Observation. There are rare, high-functioning servitor specimens present among the expired units. Such specimens are traditionally bestowed upon the noble houses that are most loyal to the sacred fellowship of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The augmentics of the deceased do differ from the implants ordinary people wear. Their intricate construction makes it clear that the deceased were not ordinary humans. Abelard frowns. As far as I know, House Gaprak has received such servitors from the Crimson Priesthood as gifts in the past, although this is my first time seeing one myself. Where is the Court Chancellor, Clementia Weserian? I think she's with the rest of House Weserian, detained in the throne room, that is. Governor Drivestem has gathered all of Dargonus' nobility there to pronounce a guilty verdict against House Weserian. So that's why the governor is not here to greet us? I do not know, your lordship. Perhaps he is... You can probably find him in the throne room, where the governor intends to put House Weserian on trial. Okay. Well, in that case...
Predictable.
There was a crumpled up letter in the inside pocket of an assailant's blood-soaked jacket. The bodies bear multiple wounds. What did that note say? Bloodstained letter. The letter is soaked in blood. Only a portion of the text is readable through the crimson blotches. Something and discreet. Keep away from the lords and ladies. You must look like a noble to the servants and wardens. Do not engage in conversation with anyone. Your task is to avoid exposing yourself ahead of time and let the Weserians get away while the wardens are busy guarding the Rogue Trader. That doesn't sound good. Meanwhile, we need to upgrade whatever he's wearing. It's been a long time since we've touched Abelard, so I'm going to take a second to do that. Okay, Abelard has some cool gear now. This is going to be fun. We upgraded his chest piece to give him the gladiator mesh armor. This is a slight boost to the actual armor, and it grants him +3 deflection against melee attacks. He gets this weapon, the auto-striking power sword. Whenever the wielder's successful parries with his power sword, they immediately counterattack with whichever attack costs the least AP. It also grants plus 30% bonus to parry, and on a successful hit with his power sword, the target suffers minus 10 penalty to weapon skill. So that thing is awesome, and I've used it on my character before too. I don't know if I should actually have it on my character. Oh yeah, because I got these Sai swords. So this is a great sword for him. We also gave him this Melta pistol because he can use Melta weapons and he hasn't used them the whole entire game. So this will be fun. But the coolest piece here is the Flames of Retribution shield. At the start of combat, the wielder suffers 1 level of burning and cannot remove burning through resistance tests. And at the end of their turn, they inflict 2 times the levels of burning on adjacent creatures. So, and if it's Xenos, they suffer with a 5% armor penetration, which is really nice. And then we gave him this little thing up here. When the wearer hits an enemy in melee range, all allies adjacent to the wearer gain 7 temporary wounds and perform an attack of opportunity against an enemy hit by the wearer. So I don't know if this is going to stack, but when he hits an enemy in melee range, everybody else next to him gets an attack of opportunity. And this thing's automatically going to hit whenever he parries. So if we can get him stand next to something and it attacks him and he parries and he's got allies next to him, we may have a chain reaction here that's pretty impressive. So we'll see how this goes. Abelard's got the flaming shield.
I always keep my options open.
Abelard, you should be up front with me. And we need Pascal Giant. Oh, and Cabela, you should be up there too. Okay. Let's go to the Von Valencia Palace. Let's see what's happening here. I would certainly play with Abelard a lot more if there weren't many more excellent characters to play with. Oh.
How old were you when you first took a life? You are scarcely more than a girl. Dreadful.
There is no sorrow in stepping onto the thread of his service early. Rather, one should lament doing so too late. Do not feel sorry for me.
Do not feel sorry, she says. Warden, you can let me by? It's my palace after all. Let me through. I have an appointment with Chancellor Clementia Weserian. Clementia. My apologies, my lord, but you cannot go any further. Governor Drivestem's orders. I have a feeling Drivestem is being a complete pain in the ass here. People want to talk to Clementia. She keeps the planet rolling. Move over. Let his lordship, the rogue trader, through. I agree. We humbly beg your pardon, your lordship. Yeah. Out of my way. Alright, so, your lordship, 'tis an honor. Governor Urban Drivestem seems to materialize out of thin air, so suddenly does he emerge from the crowd. I regret that such an unfortunate circumstances have occasioned the rogue trader's visit to the capital. Clementia tries to take a step toward you, but the warden nearby stops her. Her face is veiled with fear and weariness. Your lordship, you are here. Please, you must hear us out. The rogue trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us and to punish the traitors. The governor's words directed at Clementia are harsh. They are echoed by the scornful sneers and whispers of the assembled nobles. We have known each other for many decades now, and we have had our fair share of disagreements, but do you really think my flesh and blood would trample upon the very definition of honor and loyalty? Abelard's voice is quivering with rage. The governor sweeps his gaze over Abelard and replies, a faint shadow of doubt in his voice. We have evidence implicating them, Abelard. I'm sure that his lordship will arrive at a fair ruling. What are the charges? Disruption of logistical lines, bribery of Adeptus administrative officials, document forgery, and organization of heretical insurrections. On top of the evidently devastating economic impact this has had on your protectorate, these criminal acts have impeded the delivery of the imperial tithe, which, in turn, has drawn the administratum's attention. Needless to say, the esteemed Adeptus Arbites cannot ignore this situation either, and before their representatives arrive at the palace, we are obligated to identify and punish those responsible. Clementia, I wish to hear your account. Your lordship, House Weserian denies all charges laid against it. These last few months have indeed been trying for Dargonis, but we have done our best to remedy this situation. My family's every effort was focused on stabilizing the capital's logistics and economy. So much so that we failed to notice the web of intrigue unfolding behind our backs. What happened on Dargonis in my absence? When we caught wind of the rumors of your disappearance, we patiently awaited news of your return, but then Dargonis was struck by a series of terrible events. The first was the sabotage of logistics that hampered shipments. Then mass unrest spread across the entire planet, and the minor noble houses began squabbling among themselves, trying to pin the blame on their rivals. We took great pains to calm them down and managed to quash the revolt, though not without some outside help, unfortunately. These events have also been overshadowed by I am ashamed to even say it aloud in front of you, your lordship, the rumors circulating among the higher houses. The governor stammers, then takes a deep breath. Some were calling for Theodora's true heir to be installed as head of your house, Kunrad Voitver. Not all of your subjects have forgotten his past efforts for the benefit of the Trade Protectorate. When the investigation was launched, the evidence led us to the Weserians. Okay, why are there 3 dead bodies at the entrance to my palace? Your lordship, I humbly beg your pardon. Drivestem bows once again, trying to placate you. You see, right before your arrival, the palace guards discovered a plot to assassinate you. Fortunately, the malefactors were disposed of before they could cause you any harm. Drivestem, you aren't accusing one of Dargonis' leading noble houses of treason without airtight evidence, are you? Of course, I have evidence, your lordship. The investigation has established that members of the Weserian family, which is responsible for both Dargonis' fleet and its logistics, use their contacts and influence to forge a host of documents in order to undermine the planet's supply routes and economy, thus fomenting unrest among the inhabitants. Allow me to introduce my son, Cornelius. The governor points to the lanky young man standing beside him. He bows curtly but avoids meeting your eye. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it is thanks to him that we have managed to identify and trace the entire chain of forged documents. The investigation led us to the perpetrators, who admitted to acting on the orders of members of House Weserian. It was they who were intent on spreading the idea of restoring the title of rogue trader to the true heir. Noticing the close attention of the rogue trader, the young man averts his eyes. His long face is sweating, and he presses his dried lips together tightly into a thin line. He seems to be afraid of something. Do you support the governor's accusations? The aristocrats in attendance exchange glances, the noble lords averting their gazes and the noble ladies hiding behind the fans. No one is willing to be the first to answer. Macarius Sauerbach says, over this many years of service, Governor Drivestem earned Theodora's trust, and he holds his high office for a reason. On behalf of House Sauerbach, I support his accusation. Your lordship, Governor Drivestem has always faithfully served the rogue traders of House von Valentius, and concerned himself with the future of your trade dynasty, and so House Gaprak thinks his charges against House Weserian to be sound. The augmetics hide Toriana's emotion, but her voice sounds slightly timorous. I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defense of my family's honor, Clementius says. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge documents in the Adeptus Administratum, let alone undermine the economy of your capital. Your words alone are not enough to make me doubt the loyalty of House Weserian. As the rogue trader, I order you to release them from custody at once. Under different circumstances, I would not have dared disobey your word, your lordship, but I am afraid that this situation demands that the guilty receive their due punishment. The sabotage of logistical chains perpetrated on the capital world of your dynasty has naturally had an effect on tithe collection. The marshal himself is certain to arrive here sooner or later to investigate the matter. Alas, this attention puts both you personally and the entire Protectorate at risk. However, we still have a chance to alleviate his displeasure by resolving this incident ourselves and punishing the culprits. Sabotaging logistics, riots, conspiracy. The case appears to be flimsy. I wish to learn more before I make my final decision. As you wish, your lordship. Speak to me when you're ready to announce your verdict. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I am certain that all the charges are false, and I would be grateful for your help in exposing them as such. I think you should speak to everyone present, the noble lords and the ladies. I think you're right, Abelard. Let's find out what the heck is going on. So, what groups of people do we have to speak to here? The Governor Urban Drivestem. Let's start with you, shall we? Urban Drivestem. Cornelius. Yes, where are you? You're the one I want to talk to. Governor Drivestem is surrounded by his retinue, who are all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching color scheme of their outfits and the striking physical resemblance among them suggests that they all come from one family. Your lordship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention. I wish to hear your reasoning again. What makes you think the Weserians are behind the plot against me? As soon as the logistical and economic problems gave rise to the initial rumors, we tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls for Voigtvir's return. The investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Adeptus Administratum were forgeries. We can thank my son Cornelius for such an astute observation. Your lordship, slender young man bows to you awkwardly and nervously licks his dry lips. I assure you that my humble person is undeserving of your attention. Oh, really? Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it was he who discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we have found the perpetrators of the forgeries, who admitted to acting on the orders from Weserian. Okay, what do you make of this letter? I found it on one of the assailants. Governor Drivestem peers closely at the blood-stained paper. It looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Weserian. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed. Yes, but all of the assailants were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus. High-functioning servitors? Drivestem ponders this, rubbing his chin with his thumb. Such servitors are indeed rare, and the Gapraks do have them in their service. But this could have been done intentionally with an eye to confuse you. Anyone with the desire and sufficient funds can hire them. Tell me more about your son, Drivestem. Thank you for your interest, your lordship, but I am not worthy of it. The governor's son bows and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor. Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he has had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue trader. Tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Dargonos. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Adeptus Administratum are. I am afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative process of the Administratum. Too long and overly detailed. Cornelius tries to look you in the eye, but it is clearly hard for him to do. How did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? When compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. With the help of the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents. Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily. Comprehensive data analysis has shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that were practically unsolvable. Father and I have managed to single out the administrative clerks responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Weserian. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic problems. But does House Weserian have access to the Adeptus Administratum? There is no conceivable way they could do all this in a place where they do not hold any power. Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his expensive frock coat. I think the right amount of money can open any door. Cornelius, what is the true reason for your nervousness? The young man's pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath. This is the first time I have spoken face to face with a rogue trader. I am afraid to say something wrong or forget something important. The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes, now sounding strict and curt. Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain anything else? Place your hand on your weapon. You are speaking to a rogue trader, and my patience is running out. You see the flash of terror in Cornelius's eyes as he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly and confusedly without raising his head. Forgive me, your lordship, I can't do it anymore. This lie has gone too far, and I can no longer control it. The truth is that as all of the logistical problems were caused by a single error in the numbers. My mistake. Governor says, what? Urban looks genuinely shocked and enraged. When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines, and then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend that the Weserians were responsible for the mistake. And as for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all, and Cornelius is suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Urban curls his hands into fists, the knuckles turning white. What have you done? How could you? Your lordship. He suddenly turns to you as if trying to shield his son. This is my fault. I trusted my son and have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. Abelard shakes his head. And you called my family's honor into question, Urbend. Nonetheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he is down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means that House Weserian can now be cleared of all charges. But we still do not know who was behind the forgeries, the riots, the plot, and the assassination attempt. Someone is committing their foul deeds and sowing chaos right under your subjects' noses. To leave that stone unturned would be dangerous. What is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculation. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed, and in return I would name the Weserians as the ones who had sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters. That and keep my mouth shut. Urbend, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your lordship. And as for your position, I think you will be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility. Summon everyone, I'm ready to pronounce my verdict. Understood, your lordship. Allow me to prepare everything. Many faces are watching you, each and every one awaiting the rogue trader's verdict with bated breath. The charges brought by Governor Drivestem were fabricated. House Weserian had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot targeting the rogue trader, and yet this matter is far from concluded. A wave of shocked murmuring sweeps through the gathered nobles, and then quickly gives way to oppressive silence. Not so much as a whisper interrupts your speech. So, House Drivestem is guilty. I shall not forgive your negligence and the false accusations you cast against House Weserian. Urban Drivestem's face grows paler by the second. A woman's sobs can be heard from behind him, and they soon turn into desperate wails. Your lordship, I accept the decision with dignity. A shadow falls across Abelard's face. His tone is unwavering, but you hear the soft ring of regret in it. The noble dynasty and all its branches have been found guilty of heresy. By the order of the rogue trader, the entire house will be executed. The sentence is to be carried out immediately. Harsh punishment in this world. I wonder if the son would have rethought his decision if he thought it would have turned out that badly. By the order of the rogue trader, the members of House Drivestem are sentenced to death for heresy and crimes against the Von Valancius dynasty. Let the slashing begin. Betray the rogue trader, and this is how you can expect your life to end. Well, that's one way to handle matters. Get rid of the whole rotten line. When the nobles disperse, sated by the bloody performance, Abelard approaches you, his steps firm. Lord Captain, you have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on the matters that his servants and trustees can resolve, but in this case your intervention was necessary, not just for the sake of my family, but for your trade dynasty as well. Urband and I may not have always seen eye to eye, but his loyalty to Lady Theodora was absolute, and it ended so ignominiously. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Weserian is saved, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming without and imprudence within. Abelard pauses for a moment, staring off into the distance. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them. I could ensure that they survive in the future without me. You and your family must be prepared for the next time something like this happens. Abelard nods, deep in thought. That is true. They need to be prepared for it, and I want to believe that they will be able to take care of themselves. I need time to reflect upon what happened and the role I played in it. I think I will be ready to resume this conversation later when we are back on board the ship. Well then, that part is done. So what else were we doing here? Talk to Abelard on the ship, not the door. Wait for Kalkadar's summons. Mara's Iles, death was meet the Arabisias. Yeah, this is the other part. Okay, this is lengthy. This next part has to do with Cabela, so I think we'll save that for next episode. It's been a very talky episode. Some of these are. So we'll save that. We'll do Cabela's next episode. Folks, you know the drill. Like the video, leave questions, comments down below. I appreciate all of you who've been leaving questions and comments down below as the series has gone on. Thank you for the interaction. I love it. It's times like this that I wish I could stream all of these things instead of having to do pre-recorded videos on demand, but that's life. So I'll see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, everyone.